middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war.
Full Auto Friday.
I always like looking at that when the rounds are coming in way too low.
Yeah.
And they're coming out like the side of the barrel, like the bottom side of the barrel. It sounds about right.
Ugh.
Man, you've had a week, haven't you?
Yeah, man. It's been interesting.
I bet.
Oh,
So y'all didn't know that Rob was down in my neck of the woods last week.
I was.
But he didn't come through Alabama though.
No.
But we'll get him down here eventually. How'd you like St. Augustine?
It's a cool town. I like it a lot. You know, so many cities in the country are like just copy and paste versions of each other, just in different areas. St. Augustine is just entirely different. You know, it feels like more like you're in Spain or something than in the U.S.
Did you go to the fort?
We drove by. We parked by. We only had 3 days there.
Oh yeah,
we were there for about as long as we were driving. So we didn't go to the fort. We didn't even get a chance to see the shrine of Our Lady of La Leche.
Yeah,
but we went to the cathedral for mass, which was both awesome and a terrible mistake at the same time.
Yeah,
you know, like you get to venerate a relic of St. Augustine, while also having boomers trying to literally physically push you to a Eucharistic minister, extraordinary minister line for communion.
Yeah. That's the one hard thing about traveling is finding a good mass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's come to us for now that when we travel and like the mass has to we go to where the mass is pretty much. So when we go down to the Gulf, we'll go to like Destin or Pensacola because we know there's Latin masses down there. We don't go to like Orange Beach as much anymore because it's too far away. Because it's just not worth it. Destin's got the SSPX down there, and then Pensacola has the diocesan, and then there's an FSSP further into Pensacola, but it's too much of a drive. But when we went to Louisville for Christmas, and we got hornswoggled going up there because they showed a low mass at 8:30.
Yeah,
but it was low Novus Ordo.
Novus Ordo.
And but they had a high Latin mass at like 10, but we had to get to Lexington that day, so otherwise we'd have stayed for it. But we got in like it was all in English. I was like, oh man, they got me.
I did get to drive through the city of your birth on the way home at about 3 a.m. I had to stop at a gas station. My 5-year-old made it his goal the whole trip to stop and poop in every gas station possible. I'm not joking. We're talking like at least 12 stops for him to try to poop at gas stations on the way home. And so, of course, Louisville, 3 a.m. And it's like, oh, this is not a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, that Hospital Curve, man, that'll get you. Like I've seen trucks tump over on Hospital Curve on 65. Yeah, man, it's just rough traveling because you really see like the worst masses possible.
You do.
Like the worst of what the mass it can be and is for a lot of people, which makes me thankful that I have the mass that we have. But yeah, man, it's been nothing but rain here for like a week and a half.
Really?
But it's not like light drizzle rain. It's like really, really hard rain, like torrential downpour rain. And it didn't help that my wife's van's front axle brakes weren't that great, and we've been kind of pushing off getting them fixed. But it got to the point where I was like, man, we got to get these fixed because one day you're not going to be able to press that pedal down hard enough, and you're going to slide into somebody.
There was one big advantage of the road trip. We got to drive through areas that have Tridentine beer.
Yeah,
of course, it's hard to show it in the light I have here, but yeah. So this is their Boniface Marzen style ale, lager, I should say.
Yeah, I keep trying to get him to send me some down here. He won't do it. Something about the law or something. He doesn't want to do it.
Can you guys also not have wine from requisite shipped?
No, I can't.
Yeah, so then it's definitely a legal thing.
Yeah, it's Florida or Alabama for whatever reason. I read Florida's White Knight's comment came up. Alabama, for whatever reason, doesn't like anything shipped here. Well, the other issue is here in Alabama is the state has a iron-like grip on all alcohol sales. So you have to buy it through the state here.
That's crazy.
When I came into Minnesota, 4 years ago, we went to the Costco and went to the liquor store, and I got like a 1,200 milliliter bottle of Woodford for like $30. It was crazy. Down here, that's a $180 bottle.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of all the tax?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. So, yeah, that's exactly what it is. We'll make sure those moonshiners still got some income coming in. And there's some I can't get here. There's a few that I want, a few different bourbons and whiskeys I want to try. Like High Wire is one. There's a Montana whiskey I want to try, or Wyoming whiskey, not Montana. But then I couldn't get Peerless here for the longest time. Peerless is a bourbon out of Kentucky that they have the oldest bourbon patent, and it was lost in the family for like 100 years. And apparently it was put into a safe deposit box during the Prohibition, and they forgot that in the safety deposit box was lost. And then they finally found it, they reclaimed it, and so then 2013, they started making the bourbon again, but they didn't have any they could sell till like 2019. I
suppose because you had to age it.
Yeah. But they got some now, but I couldn't buy it here at all. I couldn't find it for the longest time. And so the only time I could get it is if I went to Atlanta or if I went up to Tennessee and get it. But I'm now starting to see it here, which is great because it's probably behind Basil Hayden's probably my favorite sipping whiskey.
Basil Hayden's is my, it's my go-to because one, you can find it almost anywhere. Two, it's not super, it's not really expensive, but it's not cheap either.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love Basil.
Yeah. So Ocean, this is what it looks like when you can find a woman and get children out of her and she homeschools. That's what this looks like. Maybe one day you'll be there too, buddy. One day. I don't own any tweed whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to get tweed.
Basil Hayden was your Wow, that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh man, it is.
Were the origins of NASCAR. Have you ever been to Dollywood in Tennessee?
No.
So they have like a virtual ride there, kind of like a Disney World with their virtual rides, but you're a moonshiner running from the law.
That's cool.
It is. It's pretty cool.
When when we were in Charlotte, because my flight was so much later in the day, me and my brother went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame that we didn't know was in Charlotte. But they had their the virtual NASCAR race, which was fun to do.
Yeah. Dollywood has gotten huge now. It used to be, it was like Gatlinburg, but you paid to go into Gatlinburg type of thing, just like to shop and hang out, whatever. But now it's like the South's, Six Flags. It's pretty cool. It's more of like a family Six Flags. You go to Six Flags now and you got to worry about all the
scholars.
Yeah, and the joggers.
Yeah,
that can be bad. Waffles soaking Hennessy. Ocean never changed.
You can't even spell Hennessy right.
No. That's because spell check doesn't have Hennessy.
It's so legit. I wouldn't expect anything else. Hennessy's not even a good cognac, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. I've lived within an hour of Talladega for about 4 years, and I've never been. We got some parishioners at our church who have, I guess they have season tickets or tickets for it every year, and they keep asking me to go. Well, they've asked me to go. They don't keep asking. They've asked me to go
Right.
a couple times, and I'm like, I just don't think that's my thing. I don't think that's something I want to do.
My dad was a mechanic for his best friend was a race car driver. My dad was his mechanic, so they were more or less done with it by the time like I was born. But I remember going to a lot of like dirt track races.
Yeah.
With my mom and dad, and my dad watched NASCAR every Sunday. So even though I don't watch it now and really don't have much interest now, like
Yeah.
it's still kind of a family tradition. So it was cool to go see the Hall of Fame in Charlotte.
Yeah. There's a gun store here. It's over in Weaver, Alabama, called Exile Armory, and they have a YouTube channel. They post every day like new stuff they've got in that you can buy, and they're really cheap, man. Like
Really?
like they've got some fantastic deals on guns because they depend on selling in quantity, not and not trying to make a lot per gun. They
Right.
plan on selling like 100 guns, 200 guns a day or whatever. But and I would love to be sponsored them if they ever want to sponsor somebody. Just give me ammo. That's all I want. Just give me some ammo. But they have a racing team, and they race over here at Talladega at the dirt track over here all the time. And you'll see it on their YouTube channel. They'll show them racing around. And I think their daughter or somebody races too, and she can't be like more than a teenager.
Really?
Yeah.
The number of billboards I saw on the highway for gun stores as I drove down, 75 or 95 in Georgia? I forget which one.
Mm-hmm.
75 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. The number of advertisements for gun stores and like, largest gun store in Georgia. And then the next one was second largest gun store in Georgia. And I'm like, every time I'm like checking my watch, I'm like, do we have time? No, we don't have time. Like, why would it matter anyways? I can't buy it here.
Yeah, you can't buy anything there. I mean, you could just have it shipped to your
I
state.
could have it shipped to an FFL, but I'm like, I don't have time for this.
There's one in Athens, Georgia, where the University of Georgia is, called Clyde's Armory. And it is where so the guy who owned it kept being harassed by the ATF and like the federal government because he was selling guns. He sold a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And they kept harassing him, trying to get him closed down. So eventually he ran for Congress and won. So now he's a congressman in Georgia, and he owns a gun store. And he just ran because he got tired of being harassed. He's like, well, I'm going to run. And he did. He won. He was in Congress. I don't know if he still is, but he was.
I did stop at my first Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Did you like the beef jerky wall?
I didn't see the beef jerky wall, but I did get a brisket sandwich. Honestly, I wasn't all that impressed.
Did you get the chopped or the sliced?
The sliced.
I should have got chopped.
Really?
I mean, it's just a texture preference more than anything.
Yeah.
But the chopped is.
We were at 28 hours of driving in the vehicle at this point, and I had a lot of different foods, and nothing was going to taste all that great to me at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about Buc-ee's. Like, it's the best thing about the Buc-ee's is the bathrooms. The bathrooms are immaculate.
Didn't even go in the bathrooms. Dude.
Man, they are super clean.
I bought a Buc-ee's Hawaiian shirt though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go in there and get anything. You can go in there and get you a knife and a Hawaiian shirt, a cooler, and a 12-pack of beer and a lawn chair. Like, you can get anything there.
You can.
Like, they got hunting equipment. Like, it's everything there. It's wild. But like, I have one right by my office here, and I don't go to it too much. Their gas is usually a little bit cheaper than most of the places around them, so I'll go there for gas. But I go in there. They never have deals on Monsters though. Not like Pilot does. I go to Pilot and I'll get like 3 for like $6. Right? Buc-ee's never has deals on it ever. So I try not to buy any there because I'm paying full price there. Why would I do that? Why?
Right. No.
So have they reached out to y'all about getting your 100,000 subs play button?
Not yet. It takes them up to 10 days to verify so you need the 100,000 subs. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they go through all your subs and clean out any bots or inactive accounts, verify that you have 100,000 active subs. Yeah. And then you gotta check to make sure you don't have any active community strikes, that your content is original and isn't AI generated.
Mhm.
So they say it takes up to 10 days to do all that. And then once they do that, they'll send you a redemption code to get the play button.
Cool. Will you be able to both get one?
I think we'll have to pay.
Yeah.
I think for a second one, but yeah, we should both be able to get one.
That'd be cool. That's like a little league trophy. Put like right up there with like your little league. You know,
Cost a lot more money than Little League did. At least back when I played Little League.
Oh, our little league trophies were free to us.
Oh, I don't mean I mean just the time and effort put
Oh, the
into
time,
it.
yeah. 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 That's
how often does the channel get purged from bots? We've never had a period where we've lost a ton from like a purge of bots or anything like that. Every once in a while, Anthony will say something on a show and we'll lose some from that show, but
yeah. That like I keep expecting us to get a strike one day for something stupid. But I mean, I don't care because like we're not monetized or anything, so it doesn't really bother me. Like if they kill the channel, we'll just do X only or something.
Yeah,
but,
who cares?
And the only reason we do YouTube because more people will be able to see us.
Yeah,
then we'll get more traction with people. That's the only reason we're here. Otherwise, if I didn't worry about that, we would just be on Rumble or just be on X because I can do a lot more there. But unfortunately, we've got to tone it down for YouTube so more people will see us. So when you had your show with Anthony the other day, I was talking to him throughout the day.
Do you hear about that company that lost $500 million?
Yeah,
that was probably just taffy.
Yeah, it probably was.
Probably just taffy.
Every one of those intro videos he does use like $500. But just kind of what I was talking to Anthony about was because we've talked, and you posted about it on X about everyone's talking about how like GunTube's dead and Catholic Tube is dead and everything's dead. One is it is the algorithm. First of all, YouTube is shifting who they want to push now. But it's also people, as I told Anthony, is authenticity is going to be the future currency. Like it doesn't matter if you have a bad opinion, but as long as that's your opinion and you believe it and you're principled in believing it for whatever it is, that's what people care about. They want to make sure that you're authentic and you're not just shifting in the wind for whatever's happening, which I think where we've seen with Catholic YouTube and we've seen it with GunTube is everyone shifted based on where the money is because they've made this their career, right? Like this is how they, take care of their family in some instances, which was stupid in the first place to ever do. Because you're always at the whim of an organization that will find any chance they can to get rid of you. Like they don't need an excuse, right? They one strike and they'll get rid of you. Like I've seen a couple of gun tubes that have had no strikes, went from no strikes to 3 strikes in one day because they just decided they didn't want him around anymore. And so I don't know why anybody would put themselves in their sole income underneath a company that's willing to do that, especially when what you talk about and what you believe is against the current political and sociological zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing we talk about on this show that's the world likes whatsoever. Right. And there's a lot of other shows that are, have one aspect of it, and they'll get rid of them at any chance. So it just that is pretty much what I was talking to him about and I was giving him some examples of what you brought up. But I just like how many times so I was going through my subscription on my YouTube because I'll listen to YouTube when I'm, doing stupid paperwork at my job, or if I'm driving to my office, or if I'm working out or whatever. And I need to clean up my subscription because I don't listen to any of those people anymore. Like I have like Tim Gordon subscribed. I don't listen to him anymore. One, his voice gets on my nerves now. But it's not that it's him. And I agree with 95% of what he talks about. Yeah. But his mannerism about it, that he goes about it, is just very unappealing, right? Guys like that, or a lot of these gun tubes I used to watch all the time. I don't like. I'm at the point like I feel like Ron Swanson. Like I know more than you. Like why am I listening to you, right? And it's just there's nothing. It really just comes down to I listen to y'all. I listen to Focus Strip some. Like he's kind of like background stuff because
Cool.
I tried to listen to his one he did the other day, and like halfway through the show, it became they were debating basically Christianity, and it was like 12 people, and it was just a crap show. Right? I was like, hey, this is dumb. I'm getting rid of this. But I mean, I just don't listen to a lot at all. Like I like the dirty civilian stuff, but some of the stuff you can tell they're doing just for clicks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's their job. That's what they're trying to do. They have nothing else outside of that, which it's going to bite them too. But it's just things are shifting, right? Things are, especially in GunTube, it's shifting from gun reviews and meltdowns and gear reviews and all that, and it's slowly starting to shift to people who have excellent skills and how they got those excellent skills and trying to share that knowledge. And it's guys trying to share tactics on what to do and some stuff. And those are the guys you're going to start seeing getting a lot more. But it's also a very small market for that, because you're going to have new guys coming into the scene who are looking up, the HK VP9 or something, like what are the reviews on it, or what about the new Glock 43X, and they're going to look for that stuff.
Oh, I can't show that. That's right.
But they're going to still, but they're only going to be there for so long, because eventually they're just going to get bored of that and move on, and they either start training or they don't, right? And so it's just, I think things are just transitioning. I don't think it's dying. I think it's just changing. And I don't think it's going to be as big, and it'll never be as big as it was during COVID.
No,
but things are just transitioning.
And I think the biggest aspect of it is what you said about YouTube changing what they're promoting, and it's not about even necessarily like suppression of certain topics or things. It's YouTube wants to be a competitor to TV, to cable, to Netflix, to they're going to be pushing the big production, sort of stuff, and it's really not going to be a place for little guys anymore. The algorithm isn't going to push someone with a few thousand subs like it used to. You used to be able to get more views than subs you had.
Yeah.
Now even the big guys, get way less views than subs. It is weird, and I think YouTube's still trying to figure it out, because what they recommend me is not stuff I want to watch. It's like whatever reason you have for thinking I want to watch this, you're wrong. And now I'm not going to watch anything because you pissed me off. Like,
I've gotten to a point too as well where I can't.
Okay, Kennedy Hall's barely pulling 3,000 views because he shot himself in the foot with Pelican.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Yeah, that whole situation's. I feel bad for some of those guys because they got sold a bill of goods by a guy that they thought was more than he was. But some of them knew exactly.
They also had a couple other guys warning them.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only that, but when those guys that warned them decided not to go forward, then Dan decided to badmouth those guys, right?
Yeah.
And now they're finding out who Dan was. So they get, for whatever ill will they had towards y'all, right? Like they probably need to apologize to y'all.
Yeah. I mean, should they? I don't know, maybe, but whatever. I mean, whatever. It's just I don't understand. I don't get the. I don't know, lack of prudence, the lack of street smarts. Like, what is it with trads and just faithful Catholics in general, and being able to fall for just the most idiotic scams imaginable?
Well, so I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were kind of discussing something similar, because I was talking about some guys I know For whatever reason, guys who are book smart, guys who are spend a lot of time reading and researching, they don't get a lot of time out in the world dealing with people. So they don't know how to read like facial cues and body language and inflections in people's tone and things. So they don't really get those that social street smarts. So they're not able to tell when someone's trying to get over one on them. For example, so I was moving offices next month, and I was moving into a bigger office, and I went and talked to a guy about a lease in a building I wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got and I looked at the office, I was like, "Oh, this is great. I just need do some stuff in here, but this will be fine. This will be. I like the location. It's like 2 blocks away from the cathedral, so I'll be able to go to mass every day and go to confession whenever I want. It'd be great. But like something in the back of my mind was like, just kind of like it wasn't setting off alarms, but it was making me more reserved. So I wasn't like just jumping on it as soon as I could. I was like, I'm going to take my time with this. My wife, on the other hand, she was there with me when we looked at it. She came back when we were leaving, and after I looked at it, I was like, I like the office, I like how big it is, I like the price, whatever. She's like, something's off. And I was like, he's just, I think the guy was just socially awkward or whatever, She's like, oh, okay, whatever. So anyway, I go to sign the lease, and I give my check for the deposit, and 2 days later, the guy texts me back. He's like, hey, so about your office, we actually need 3 months deposit, and the rent's $50 more a month. And I was like, well, I already signed the lease, and that's not what the lease said. What do you want me to do? I'm not paying you extra money for a lease that you're now, legally bound to. And he's like, oh, well, we're just not going to execute the lease then, if you're not able to do it. I was like, all right, bye.
Fine. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay. Like you don't understand the market, my man. Like commercial real estate is dying.
Yeah.
4/5 of your building is empty. You need me more than I need you. Like I'll find another office. Don't worry about it. But my wife was like, I told you something was up. I was like, well, your senses were good, which is why I married you. Right. But it's just, just that little tingle in the back of your head when you're dealing with people, and give you just to give you a little bit of pause to like, okay, I need to really pay attention now because something seems off. Right. A lot of guys don't have that because they don't deal with people. All they deal with is books and people on a 2D screen.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't know how to really interpret those different cues that they receive, like Cavazos, right? Like, thankfully, now his is a little better because he got it before a lot of some of those guys are still in, which is crazy to me.
Dr. K,
Grozevsky, I think Tim Flanders is going down with the boat. I don't think he has a choice because he's with his family situation and
meaning of Catholic.
One Peter 5's not doing anything, and like he's going to go down with the ship. He's going to have to go back to selling insurance here soon.
Well, Catholic Family News, those guys too. Like there was originally there was talks of Pelican just buying Catholic Family News outright, but I think they waited for it to fail and then just hired McCall and Rundis. But like, if Pelican fails, there is no Catholic Family News anymore at this point. So
yeah. So the good thing with Peter Kosnevsky is his audience isn't through social media; it's through his books and his talks that are on other people's channels. So he's not like he ever really had a big channel that he made money on.
He made money on his Substack. He's got a lot of Substacks,
but his Substack's still there,
right? Because it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, well, maybe he got an exception, which is probably the only reason he's still there because he doesn't need the money from them yet, I guess. But the other guys, it's not going to be good. A lot of those guys are going down with the ship.
Yep.
When everything's said and done, because there's no way. I mean, who was it? Nick said they laid off a bunch of like the social media team and stuff the other day.
Yeah, and all the editors and stuff like that. Which was about the only reason we wanted to join is like you know, if someone else was able to create thumbnails and do edits and clips and like
Mhm.
it's a lot of work off of, well, not so much Anthony, but off of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not a pro at this. I'll never be a pro at this.
Yeah.
But
And why should you be? You've got another job, right? This is not your income,
right,
so why should you be a pro? Like
right.
you and I doing this show. This is just for fun. Like I'd
Yep,
have
100%.
no grand scheme of ever turning this into a career. I don't want to. In fact, if this thing gets more than 10,000 subs, I'll probably delete the channel and start over. Like I have no desire to be big whatsoever. My goal is just to spread as much information as I can that I know and bring on guys who have more information than I do to be able to spread it to y'all and have fun while we're doing it. That's my entire goal. You know, I got
at least once a month, I ask myself, you know, like if I wanted to, am I still at the point where I would walk away from avoiding Babylon in a heartbeat if I felt it was, you know, a net negative in my life? And so far every month I'd be like, yeah, I drop it. I would text Anthony right now and be like, I'm done. And you know what? Yeah, I'd lose out on money, but I've always seen it as just an extra income stream. I've never, you know, it's never become a necessity, and I don't ever want it to be, because I want to be able to drop it whenever.
Yeah, I get it. You know, you have to be able to walk away from it, because this will suck your soul out.
Yeah.
Right. Because, you know, you'll pay attention to social media too much. You'll get embroiled in too many online arguments for no reason. And it will absolutely just destroy you if you let it. Right. You know, which I think, you know, you and Anthony and have a good grounding in the fact that you have careers that, you know, that you can always go back to. If, you know, and get rid of this, and, you know, you get rid of whatever it is, you know, a couple grand a month that y'all are getting. That's really just your gun money anyway. But
that's what I've used it for. I've used it for basically our hobbies, you know, our interests. Like it buys Hope in the kids aquariums and fish, and it buys me guns, you know, and and that's it. Yeah. When Aunt woke me up yesterday. No. Wednesday. Did we do the show Wednesday? I forget. Whatever day we did the last show, like Aunt woke me up with a phone call. I was napping. I was about to go to bed because I was so tired from the drive. And I just wanted to tell him to screw off, dude. Like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing it.
I bet. But you came on anyway.
I did, because I can't say no. I've been
told
that
y'all didn't do a show last night.
Yeah.
That'd have been too much.
This is funny. The Arch Davies asking if Pelicans got the Gen Xers making the thumbnails, and what's funny is you can see a difference in the thumbnails since they fired.
Since they got rid of the guys.
Yeah.
Like if you were to walk away from avoiding Babylon for whatever reason, all it is, you would just get your time back. Like how much of your week? You probably get 10 hours a week back. Right,
20 to 30, actually.
You think that much? Damn.
Yeah.
So you're basically working for like $10 an hour. You're doing AB.
Not really. Because let's say I work half. You know, I let's say I work a half-time job at AB.
Okay.
You know, 20 hours compared to 40 hours. I make about half with AB than what I do through my full-time job. So I'm really making the same dollar per hour as I do at my day job.
Let's do the math on this. Say you work 80 hours a month on AB. Okay. I'm going to assume, because I think y'all said it before, but I'm going to assume you probably bring in roughly what, 2 a month from it?
This year, let's say if we do the next year, 12 months from now, you'll probably average out $3,600 a month
each.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking at about $45 an hour. That's not bad. I mean,
no, it's not bad.
Before taxes.
Well, that's actually the best part. because we have the Avoiding Babylon LLC, which is owned by my S corp and his S corp,
Mhm.
and because we expend so much, like my internet service, well, that's a
Mhm.
business expense.
Yep.
Part of my renting out this office space for myself, business expense. Like,
Yeah.
we'd still technically put more money in than the profit we pull out, so it's actually a tax break too.
Yeah. See? That's what
Um,
I was telling Anthony. He was like, he was talking about money, whatever. I was like, your first mistake was going into business with an accountant. He knows where to hide the money. I bet. I was like, I bet you would be getting way more if he was just some dumb guy you didn't know. But he's got money out in the Cayman Islands somewhere.
so I invested pretty heavily at the beginning. Anthony did not, but he's doing so now. But so I have 2 LED studio lights that total were like $800 that I got when we first started. Computer stuff, I probably have 9 to 10 grand in computer stuff on the desk in front of me. Yeah, so I mean, overall,
How much is the camera?
The camera's cheap.
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't use I don't use like an SLR or anything.
You don't
like
use
that.
a DSLR or anything?
No, it's like a $300 webcam.
Okay, it doesn't look it.
I know
it looks like a
which is
DSLR.
It does a good job, but it'd be different if we were recording everything right and then like uploading it to YouTube, because you could do 4K then.
Yeah,
and then I would need a really high end camera and stuff. But
or
with StreamYard in live
do you
streaming,
want people to see like the acne marks and the
no. But with streaming in general, and especially through StreamYard, like you're limited to 1080, so you don't need something super fancy.
That was the worst thing when like 1080 came out, and then in the 4K, and you started seeing people's like imperfections. I was like, ugh. And then I started thinking, do I look like that? Is that what I look like? Because I'm not rich. They're rich, so they could do something about it. I'm poor. Is that what I look like? Do I look that bad? Why didn't y'all tell me?
If I'm probably going to reorganize the look a little, just because it's been a while, and Ann just redid his. I really don't like the safe right behind me, but I can't move that thing.
I had no idea it was a safe.
Really? Right there?
I have no idea. I just see a purple blob in the back.
That's my big gun safe.
Yeah, I had no idea it was a safe. I see your bookshelf back there.
Yeah.
But I only know that's a bookshelf because I've seen you walk back to it during a show, or I've seen it from when you post pictures with stuff on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that purple thing in the background does not look like a safe.
So I might reorganize things, but like for me, I guess I'd rather, if I were to put more money, it'd be more in the audio.
Yeah.
What if Rob
I invest in nothing. I have a computer. Oh, no, that's not true. I bought a microphone for like $100, like this thing. So
yeah,
that's it.
I mean, that's basically what Anthony did until he just redid the studio.
Yeah, there's no reason for me to be any more than that. I mean, I have an old GoPro I use, but I've had that thing for 5 years. Yeah. It does okay, but I'm just using my webcam right now. I'm in the house today. My wife and my girls are at Camp Tecawitha. My girls are in American Heritage Girls, and so they're camping and canoeing and all that stuff. And I bet
that's fun.
I bet my wife is hating it. Usually I'm not. I was
gonna say she's not big into like outdoor stuff.
She doesn't like bugs.
And
Alabama has lots of bugs.
Yeah, lots of them.
But I will say she will put up with that stuff to see our kids have a good time. Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, today sucked, but man, seeing our kids laugh today was awesome. Whatever it is. So I'm at home today with my boy. He's with me all weekend, just me and him. He's got his little league teams in the playoffs tomorrow. So we got that tomorrow morning. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the day. We'll probably just come home and throw the ball or something. But I might take him shooting. We'll see.
I have to wash the van after the trip. It looked like World War III between mosquitoes and dragonflies happened on the front of the van. Because that thing is 9 feet tall, so it catches everything.
Do you have a hard time going through drive-throughs?
Can't.
Yeah, well, usually they're like 8.5 feet is the clearance, right? On some of them.
Most drive-throughs are 9 feet. Our van official height is 8 feet 11 inches. So theoretically, could I get it through most drive-throughs? Maybe. I'm not risking an inch. I'm not, especially when it's the top of our van isn't just the roof. The top of the van is actually a separate AC unit for the back. That is probably $5,000 to replace. So no.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't risk it either. In Louisville, right next to the University of Louisville, there's a road that goes under a railroad, right? And it says clearance like 13.5 feet. I cannot tell you how many semis have smashed into that thing.
The semis that are 14 feet tall. Yeah.
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 Every single, like, Coke goes through there. I've seen those, and Coke's everywhere because they're doing like 40 miles an hour. They hit that thing, it shears off like the top 6 inches. There's everything, things everywhere. Chicken trucks coming through, chickens everywhere. And this is downtown Louisville. Like,
that's amazing.
It's a wild how often that happens. Oh man.
Yeah, we might have jumped the gun on the trad van, but I'll tell you one thing. It was the perfect vehicle for that road trip.
I bet.
Really, like being able to stand up in the back at, as the others driving, stand up and stretch fully was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Do y'all have like a TV or something in it? The kids can watch
no, we might. The kids get too motion sick as it is.
Yeah.
Where like they were drugged up on Dramamine on the way down. Yeah. Like, there's no way I'm going to put a video screen back there.
That's about the only time our kids watch TV is in the van on the way to places because we don't really watch it at the house.
Yeah,
but we drive around so much, they get their fill.
We listen to the Narnia series.
That's fun.
On the way down.
Have you all listened to the Lord of the Rings series by Andy Serkis?
I have, but I never read any C.S. Lewis at all. So the wife convinced me to do that on the way down.
Yeah. The Lord of the Rings series by Andy Serkis is phenomenal. It's the absolute best reading of those books whatsoever. Especially when it gets to the Gollum. You're like, hey, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. I think he did. Did he do the Silmarillion too for him?
I don't know, maybe.
Or what did... I think I listened to the Silmarillion read by Christopher Lee. Now that was good.
Did you ever see the interview that Christopher Lee had? And it was about the scene when Saruman was killed.
Oh yeah, how he told him that's not how
somebody dies when they're stabbed.
That's not how it's. Yeah, it sounds when someone's neck slit or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're like, "What?" And he's like, "Because those of you who don't know, Christopher Lee was in the precursor of the SAS, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you know he's also a descendant of Charlemagne?
Yep. The man is amazing.
The man is. He's not just Count Dooku. Like he's actually something. He's actually done some stuff with his life. Yeah, I guess we should probably get to our topic.
I mean, we are 44 minutes in.
We haven't had a show in like 2 weeks.
It has been a while.
It's been a while. So it's probably what all this is. And everybody's like, well, I can't believe these guys are actually on. That is true. Everyone is a descendant of Charlemagne. So it was funny when I was doing our family tree and I was going back and looking at stuff. And I was realizing the only reason I know these people and the only reason we know that who their children are is because they were important people. So people kept track of them, right? Yeah. Kept track of their lineage. So everyone today, just about anyway, is going to have someone in their past who was someone of importance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's otherwise you'd have no idea.
Like of my 4 grandparents, 2 of them can trace descent to Henry II of the Plantagenet dynasty, and two of them, which are actually the same two, can also trace descent to Canute, the King Canute the Great.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, that's everyone can at some point.
I was when I did mine, I found that at somewhere. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it's the Canute that's a saint or not. Might be.
Hannibal. Isn't Hannibal from Africa?
Well, Hannibal was a Carthaginian, so he's
So,
really
yeah.
like a Phoenician.
So yes, Northern Africa.
Yeah, but he's not like sub-Saharan.
He's not sub-Saharan African. Like, okay, those people can't even get out of their own way. They're not leaving the continent unless someone takes them. All right, let's get into the topic. So
yeah, please. Oh my gosh.
So the reason I wanted to go over this, because every time we do a show, Rob texts me. He's like, "Hey, we want to go over," and sometimes I have something. Something like, "Oh man, we're going to talk about this," but sometimes I'm like, "I have no idea."
And
like, what are we going to talk about? Like, I
well,
want to
I
talk about
ask you because I also have no idea.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard to figure out what you want to talk about.
Yep.
But I did want to go over like what are the best ways to like ambush and kill an alien, because like the aliens.gov was supposed to go live last night, and it was just about illegal immigrants, which is awesome. But
I was going to say that if this whole thing is a big rug pull,
man, I hope that would be
ICE,
so awesome.
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
That would be so awesome. But so last night at Delaney Hill in New Jersey, they had another protest outside of an ICE facility.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, it's getting warm. It's war season, right?
For those of you who can't see, I'm currently sweating right now.
I can't tell. But I mean, you are glistening a little bit, but that's just normal.
It's not the camera, guys.
But so they started attacking the ICE again last night and making verbal threats, like, because if y'all would notice, ICE is starting to wear masks now, and they're required to wear masks, and because what's happening is they're being identified, and much like the cartels do, they're going after their families, and harassing their families, so they're having to wear masks. And so one of the protesters last night made the comment that I've seen your face, I'm going after your family now, right? So that made me remember, like, man, like, who are these people, right? Where do they come from? Who's organizing them? How do they know to go after specific facilities or whatever, right? So I kind of wanted you just do like a base level, like, who are these people, first of all? So for those of y'all that may not know, I used to do some side work for Mike Shelby at Forward Observer. I did his low intensity conflict report basically for him, provided him the information on anyway, and he would put it in the report. Mike Shelby knows more, he's forgotten more than I know about this whole situation. But being in my previous life in the Marines, I used to deal with this stuff all the time as well, doing a link analysis between people. But I kind of want to go over like a base level of who we're dealing with. I'm
so glad you're way more prepared for this than I am.
Well, I knew you were going to come in tired, and you were basically just going to fill in the dead air when I was having to take a drink.
Yeah, see, this is why this works well.
So I'm going to. Did you get the notes for the show?
I mean, I'm sure I have them, but I did not look at them. No, but I do have them all. Yes. Man.
So I'm dealing with a new setup here in the house. I wonder if I can share it myself.
Holy crap! You really are prepared for this.
Here we are.
Armed queers. Oh, sounds like.
Oh, yeah, that's one group we're going to be talking about. The Armed Queers of Salt Lake City.
Is that just the Mormons?
Somewhat. Let me do that. Bam. Yeah, good. Allow.
I hate summer.
Later X. All right. Let's see. Where did you go? There we are. Sorry, guys. I'm dealing with a new system here. And wow, it was not going to let me do that over there. I'm going to do it over here. Cancel. And do this. I have visuals, guys. I have visuals. So y'all don't have to just hear my pretty voice.
I actually see what you're clicking right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is it sharing it to everybody or is it sharing it to you?
No, I mean I'm in the notes app and I can see what
okay.
you're clicking on in there.
Why is that not? What did it pull up? Did it pull up on? Nope. Did it pull up on Safari? Yeah, it pulled up on stupid Safari. Nobody likes Safari. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to get it eventually, I promise.
I trust you, Adrian. I trust what the hell did you spell?
Here we go. All right. I've got it now. Here we go. All right. So
There we go.
there we go. So this is from last night. That's the gentleman with the nice.
Hold on. Did you want to put that up on the screen?
Why?
What?
What do you mean why? What?
Do you
Is it not
want to
showing?
put it on the stream?
I thought I did.
No, it's not.
Oh. There we go.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if you were ready because
I'm ready.
okay.
So this is from last night. These are the Antifa who are. I'm not going to do the sound because you don't read it, but that gentleman right there with his nice science class glasses there.
You can enlarge the video.
You know,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sound too, and he says some naughty words. But you'll notice all the ice are masked. The only ones that aren't are the guys who aren't ice. This guy's mask got removed, but they're, and he's the one they were threatening that they're going to go after his family. Okay. So let's stop sharing. Go back. So that's one. So that's just from last night.
That was Antifa.
That was Antifa. Let me show you another view from it last night. And I want to point out some things from this one. It's still showing the same one in it. Let's do that. Go back. All right, where to go? Here we go. I use Brave browser now, and it keeps wanting to put everything in Safari, which is a pain in the butt. I try not to use Safari for anything anymore because it's horribly.
Do you have a Mac?
All right, this is it. So
I can talk to you however.
Raising your
Tell
voice
me
and
who you
violating
are.
my personal
Because I
space.
can talk to you however I
let me
want.
share
You know-
it. All right, so y'all can see that, right?
Yep.
This guy,
You know what I'm
this is an
saying?
agitator.
Huh?
This
I
is
can
a
talk to you however
mixer.
I want. Now being racist. Oh, you going back? Oh, you going back to ICE?
Okay, and again, now I'm getting
Oh, I
surrounded
can
by
talk to you
agents.
however I want. What's up? What's up? Oh, you want to push back? Oh, yes, go this
Okay.
way.
I'm getting like a
Racist
text.
ass. It's a
Yep.
fucking racist ass.
All right, so he got sprayed. Now watch what happens. Immediately, he's got a medic coming up, getting him out of the area, and is going to start providing him with aid to get the OC spray off his face.
What? Agua. Cierra la boca, cierra la boca.
All right, he's washing his face, getting everything off. All right, that is leagues better than what Antifa was doing 6 years ago during the Summer of Love. Right now, they were really good then too, but they're even better now. They have the organization, they have the skills, they provide training, right? These are people, keep in mind, they don't have jobs, so they can do this stuff, right? Those of you and I, we have to go out and work. And then if we want to train for things like go to the range for like an hour a week just to practice shooting, right? That's time away from our families. These people don't have families mostly, right? And if they did have families, they're probably neglecting them anyway. But
And the training is provided to them free of charge.
Yeah.
Whereas us, got to pay out the butt. We want any sort of training.
None of these medics are trained. These are guys who just see the cause as bigger than themselves. And the cause for them is, anti-fascism and taking down the system and installing a communist government, right? But within seconds of that guy getting sprayed in the face, he had a medic on him to help him wash it off, right? So I wanted to show that as an example so y'all could see how quick that was, right? These people are not disorganized. These people are not going to be a pushover. Right? These people are we need to take them seriously.
Right.
Their end game is to install a communist government and the collapse of the current system. That is their goal, overarching goal, to make it as bare bones as possible, right? And we'll get into some more here in a minute. The Hispanic sounding guy was Antifa, or he was at least an ally of Antifa. He may not be officially an Antifa member, but he was there supporting Antifa. All right. So then let me get into. So first organization I want to introduce y'all to is. I hate that it automatically opens in Safari. All right. First one I'm going to introduce y'all to is the Socialist Rifle Association. Okay. Let me share that. All right, so the Socialist Rifle Association, the current estimated membership in the United States is at least 10,000. Right, so this is one of the biggest groups I used to report on for Mike Shelby at Forward Observer. They provide a lot of training. They provide a lot of equipment. They provide a lot of assistance to things, to activities, to protests. They also do a lot of community events. Like they do what's called a brake light clinic, where they'll pay for and repair people's brake lights, because brake lights are usually the biggest thing that gets people pulled over. But they do a lot in the community, but they also provide a lot of training. Soldiers Rifle Association members have been known to go and train in Kurdistan with the Kurds, especially with the Peshmerga. They have been known to be involved in a lot of domestic terror attacks as well.
A lot of the Kurds were actually supported by the Soviets, right?
Got it. Sorry, my boy's going to sleep. Saying goodnight to him real quick. But what was that?
The Kurds, not all of it or all of them, but a lot of them were supported by the Soviets.
Yes.
Against Turkey and
Mm-hmm.
Iraq and Syria and all of that.
Mm-hmm. And right now, especially with what's going on in Iran, there's a big push for Kurdistan to have its own territory, which would mean that if Kurdistan were to have its own territory, a lot of these Socialist Rifle, the SRA, I'm just going to say SRA because I'm tired of saying the whole thing, SRA are going to more than likely seek dual citizenship, so they have somewhere to escape to in case they need it. Let me pull up another one from them.
We're not actually seeing anything. Oh,
yeah, I'm sure. I'm gonna pull up another one.
Let me.
All right.
So the SRA has been around for a while.
Yep.
Okay.
So some of the things I want to show you is one. This is one out of Minneapolis, up near your neck of the woods. So if we look at some of the equipment they have, they love Soviet bloc firearms for whatever reason. But some of them have more up to date, more AR-15. Right, he's got this guy in the back and the right has got a plate carrier with, it looks probably 6 mags maybe on it. There's a guy in the front left that's sitting in the chair with he's got a can on his. Here, I'll show it here in a second. Is representing some more of what they've got. You know, some of them are out of shape. Some of them are probably decent shape. Some of them are, you know, just never done much more than. But if you'll see here, this guy's obviously got a can on his.
Yeah.
He's got a huge flashlight on his can.
Old weapon light, but
yeah. But it still works.
Yeah.
It still does what he wants it to do. It just shows like some of the people they follow and all that. But these are people who are, you know, running around with a 22 that their grandpa gave them or a shotgun or whatever. They're out training with, not all of them, but some of them are out training with weapons that you and I would have, firearms that you and I would have, probably firearms you and I have.
Probably.
They are also receiving training from former special forces guys that align with their thinking. Like, they're getting good training. This is not, these guys are not unprepared whatsoever. I got one more on the Social Rifle Association.
I imagine they probably follow local gun laws at about the same rate as our side, right? They don't want to get arrested for breaking gun laws or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So this is a report, and I mean, I can send this out to anybody who wants. It's on Zero Hedge. You can find it. But the SRA has boasted that they have over 10,000 members at this point, which is probably lowballing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have double that. And keep in mind, this is just one organization. We're about to do a few more, but this is just one of them that's out there. And when we get into some others have experienced and have been involved with some more recent attacks lately. So the next one I want to show you, we're going to get into Redneck Revolt. Redneck Revolt used to be they're kind of a break off from the Elm Fork John Brown Club. And they've kind of created their own thing. They mostly target rural white areas. And
in terms of recruiting or
as far as recruiting, they try to find disenfranchised rural white people to add to their ranks. Right. They've been involved in almost every protest in the South against ICE. They're really well involved with mostly your southern states, and they provide a lot of training to, buddy, I can't read that. They provide a lot of training to other organizations as well, but they've become much more guerrilla tactic focused lately. Keep in mind, a lot of these groups are no longer on the internet. Since Trump came back into power, they're just not. Because they've mostly been targeted for domestic terrorism. You can't find them online anymore. All their web pages have gone away. All their signal groups, Telegram chats, all that are gone. If you want to talk to them, you basically have to do it in person now, which is real hard unless you want to out yourself to them. But they're not doing a whole lot of social media engagement anymore, especially since the Trump administration came back into power. And I got one more on Redneck Revolt. Let me pull it up.
Wait, did you do a video of your shooting your P-38? Is it in the Telegram?
So this guy is a professor at UNC. He's a member of Redneck Revolt, and he's been involved in Antifa as well. But he's been involved with. He was at Charlottesville as well, involved there. So this is a professor who's being paid according to state records from the state, and is used to turn around and protesting against the same state that he's being paid by. Right. So these people are everywhere. Now we know they're probably going to be more in the academia than other areas. Like you're not going to see very many plumbers who are Redneck Revolt, right? Because they just don't have time. But professors got a lot of time. All right. We got any questions on anything real quick? Some of these names are ironic.
Right.
Right. Like Gen Z and Gen Alpha love irony. Which means like you can never tell what they actually think because they're not serious half the time. But so when we get in, the Socialist Rifle Association is who they say they are. Redneck Revolt was just more of a way to try and co-opt the title of redneck, pretty much. We'll get into one here in a minute. It's called the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City. That's a fun one.
Captain Rex is glad I finally got you guys live. I listen to the podcast every week and love the show. Do you guys have time for an off-topic question? And the answer is yes, obviously,
yes,
of course.
Always.
We spent 45 minutes getting to the topic. We definitely have time for a question.
Look, y'all need to understand Rob and I's relationship. We just send IG reels to each other all day. That's usually, not appropriate for work.
Not at all.
Whatsoever. And occasionally I'll send them something where I'm critiquing somebody or making fun of somebody else. But that's about it. Right. So when we get on screen, this is about the only time we actually talk.
Adrian's either sending me reels, badmouthing Gordon or Wagner, or that's really about it.
Look, I'm a man of simple taste.
You are who you are.
All right, this next one we're going to talk about is John Brown Gun Club.
You want to explain who John Brown was?
You're the history buff. I'm going to let you do it.
So John Brown was a radical abolitionist
Prior
to the Civil War. Super radical. To the point where he basically led a slave revolt and attack on an armory, right? And ended up killing a bunch of civilians and ended up getting. Was he killed in the battle, or did they capture him and hang him?
He was eventually captured and hanged.
Yeah. Very. Not that communism was really per se a thing yet, right? I don't think Marx had written the Communist Manifesto at that point, but many of his economic beliefs would and could be described as communist leaning as well. So,
ooh, this is a good question. I'm 25 and hoping to court a woman for my chapel, but I'm sure if 40,000 is enough to provide, especially with high rent costs, etc. Mentioned 35K was enough. More details would be great. So keep in mind, the younger you are, the easier it is to get by with less money. Right. So it depends on where you live.
Yeah.
40,000 in downtown Atlanta is not going to do you well. Right. But if you don't mind living in outlying counties and don't mind commuting in, if that's where your job goes, then you have to weigh the cost of fuel and such. It is not impossible to support a family on 35,000. You just have to really prioritize and budget and take advantage of things that may require you to humble yourself. Right. We have here in Alabama, we have certain church organizations that if you have more than 4 children at all, they don't care what your income is. They will provide you with food. That you just come by and they'll give you boxes of food. So if you want to keep your groceries down, but you have to humble yourself to do that. Right. You have to know that you're not going to, you're going to buy probably a $5,000 car, and you're going to have to learn how to fix it yourself, right? Because in order for you to have nice things, you're going to have to learn how to do some stuff, right? You're going to have to know that, hey, you're probably not going to get a new phone every 3 years, right? You're probably going to have the same phone for 5, 6, 7 years, and it's probably going to be used when you get it. That's okay, right? You don't need that stuff. Because if you can get used to living on less money now when you're young, when you get 30, 35 years old and you're making a little bit of money and you've got a little bit of money you can put away, it's easier for you to do that and not to adjust up your living with your new income. And then at that point, you can start putting some money in savings and you have a little bit of a cushion. You can do something with it, right? If you don't have a skill that gives you the capability to make more money, you need to, on your off time when you're young, go and learn a skill. And maybe it's for a side job, right? Maybe, right now you're doing, I don't know, you're an auto mechanic. If you can learn to weld and do fabrications, that's only going to get you hired on to even better places. Right.
That and $1,500 in rent. Like there are places in the country you can make the amount of money you're making now, pretty easily at any job and pay half that in rent.
Mm-hmm.
Like for our 4-bedroom, 2,500 square foot house, we pay $850 in rent a month. Now we live in a town of 1,500 people on the edge of one of the largest wilderness areas of the country, and where the whole town is economically depressed because of the lack of mining, and there's literally the best place to get food in town is the gas station. In the grocery store, you got one grocery store and a Dollar General. You have to drive 45 minutes to get to a Target or Walmart or McDonald's. So there's downsides, don't get me wrong, but you can work at the gas station full time, make $35,000-$40,000 and pay $800 in rent for a house. But like I said, there are downsides.
Yeah. And it may require you to move. Like you may have to move to West Virginia for a better tax rate and better rent, and just to commute a little bit more. I'm not one to encourage people to move for a 10% bump in salary. I'm not one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Right? If I've got guys here that clients of mine who, that I help, that they're like, hey, I've got a job offer in Arizona and it's 10-15% more than I do, that I make now. Do you think that's a good move? No, it's not. You've got community here, community that does things for you that you have to pay for when you go to Arizona. Like your mom and your dad are here, and your brothers and sisters who are older and out of the house too. Like, so if you need childcare here, you've got family that can help if something happens. You move out to Arizona, you've got to pay for that. Now that 10-15% is gone. Not only that, but now your cost of living is higher. I'm not a guy that's going to encourage you to always chase the money, but be prudential about what you're doing.
And you make a good point about community. Like, yeah, you could move where I live and have your rent cut in half, but I also don't have any sort of like traditional chapel anywhere within a few hours of me. I have no real Catholic community around me. Would I be willing to make a fair amount of sacrifice to have what you have? Yeah, potentially. So it, like everything in life, it's a trade-off. So maybe you are better off where you are with that community. Because I'd love to have that for my kids.
You may be in a situation now where this young lady that you're wanting to start a life with, maybe y'all both work for right now, but you learn to live on one income and you put the other one away. Right? You learn to live on your income and hers you put away until y'all have a child, and then she stays home, and now you've got a nest egg put away for a long time, based on however long she was able to put money away. Right? I know plenty of people have done that. Like, I would rather she get used to being a stay-at-home mom if that's what y'all want to happen, because when you cooperate with God's order, He's going to bless you. Right? His order is you are the provider, you are the protector, and she is the homemaker. My wife knows she is the heart of this home. When things affect her, it affects everyone else in this home. So my job is to make sure as little affects her as possible. Right. So my job is to make sure that she knows when she goes to the grocery store, she needs to use her card for whatever it is. It's not going to deny her.
Yeah.
She's going to know that, hey, when she gets in that car, the gas fairy showed up the night before, and all of a sudden she's got a full tank. Right. She doesn't have to worry.
Even though she definitely left it on empty every time.
Yeah, she absolutely left it on empty. If I know anything, when I get my wife's car, it's on empty. I don't care when it is. I don't care what day it is. I don't care the last time I got in the car. It's going to be on empty when I get in that car, and I'll go fill it up for her. Right. Because I don't want her, especially nowadays, I don't want her going to the gas station by herself because I don't trust anybody. Right. So that's your job, is to be able to provide that for her. So in the meantime, if y'all both need to work, that's fine. But when y'all start having kids, she needs to stay home because God's going to bless you. And you're just going to make it worse on yourself if you make her continue to work.
I guess my biggest advice is just go for it. Right? Just do it. You'll figure it out.
And man, have as many kids as you can.
Yes. As quick
Have
as you
them.
can.
I'm telling you, man, like I only have 4 kids and I would give anything to have.
Oh, you had 3.
I have 4.
2
3
girls,
girls and a boy.
3 girls and a boy. Okay.
Yeah. I would give it anything to have more kids. And we just, it's biologically impossible for us. My wife's had complications the past couple of ones, and she almost died from the last 2, so we couldn't have any more. But I would kill to have more kids. I've never met anybody, especially anybody who actually loves their family, who has said, you know what? We probably shouldn't have had that last kid. Yeah, that was a little too much. We probably shouldn't have done it. Right? The only people that do that are people on welfare. But
Or people that end up with a kid named Anthony. Hey, you know what? That Anthony shouldn't have had that one.
How did we should have known we would have had one like that. But just have as many kids as you can, because every kid you have makes your life better. And if you have a kid with Down syndrome, I cannot express to you how lucky you are if you have a child with Down syndrome. Every client I have who has a child with Down syndrome are the most joyful people I know. Like, they don't care about anything. Nothing affects them. All they care about is their family, their children, and getting to heaven. Like, there's no materialism involved with them whatsoever. Down syndrome children brings your camera just zoomed in on you. But Down syndrome children, look at this Down syndrome child. Down syndrome children bring so much joy. So just count yourself blessed if you ever have a Down syndrome child, as exampled here on the camera.
I'm trying to tell my stupid camera to zoom out. Bear with me. Talk for a second.
Have you seen that Instagram reel where it's like talking about, like, using the word retarded is bad, and it's going through like a bunch of Down syndrome people, and then it gets to the random guy and he's like, "What the hell? Why'd y'all come to me?" And then it goes to another one. "I can't hear you. You're not saying nope. I see your lips moving, but I hear nothing."
That's because I'm talking to the stupid camera. It's voice controlled. Zoom out.
It's voice activated. Tell it to go away. It said Down syndrome, and it just went right at you. I'm gonna be silent, not say anything, and just let this be really awkward. There's no reason not to go for it. None whatsoever. Like, learn to live on a little money. That way, when you have a lot of money, you know what it's like and you know how to get back to it. The biggest benefit my wife and I ever had was 2 things. One, when I was in the Marines, after we paid bills and everything, and I was putting through her through nursing school, we had about an extra $75 to live off, $75 to $100, depending on the paycheck. And so that meant, like, we might be able to go out to eat once, or we might be able to go to a movie or something. Right? That was it. That's all we had left. And that helped us now when, I do pretty decent. I do well enough to where she can stay home and my kids homeschool and we don't worry about anything. But the other benefit that we had was when I was in the Marines, my wife and I lived in North Carolina. We didn't have any family near us. So when we got in a fight, we had to work through it. We neither of us could run back to mom and dad's house to go stay the night to get over it or whatever. Like we had to work through that stuff. And so that's built us up and made us so much stronger because we're able to work through. And we used to have some knockdown, drag out fights. Because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was a horrible husband the first couple of years we were married. I was not prepared whatsoever to not be the selfish prick I still was. And it took a little bit for me to realize, like, I don't want to be like that, especially when I had my daughter. Like, I'm done with that life. But making it to where we couldn't escape only made us grow closer. Yeah, we never went to bed mad. We always and it's there's this one. So in the Marines, when you go to the rifle range to qual every year, you have to be at the armory at like 3:30 in the morning. Well, I remember one year I was going to the rifle range to qual because you have to do it twice a year. Well, once a year mostly, but unless because the year runs differently, sometimes you might have to do it twice in a year. But I remember one year we got in a fight the second night I was on the rifle range, and I was up till 2 a.m. to make sure we smoothed things over before I went to sleep, just to get up at 3:30 in the morning to go to the rifle range and be in the sun all day. But that's how important it was to us. Like, I was not going to sleep still mad. We were going to work through this, and we were going to forgive each other, and I was going to go to sleep. That was the worst I've ever shot on the rifle range that week. Y'all like my haircut? It's crazy today. I haven't done anything with it today. I can't believe some of y'all thought I was bald just because I wear a hat. Or is that what y'all are used to? People who wear hats are bald? Look how crazy that is.
That is pretty good. You look like my 7-year-old. After being in a pool for a week and not washing his hair, the chlorine out of his hair.
Norwood is coming. All right, so let's what are we going to let's see. Let me do one more on the John Brown Club. And let's see where here it is. Do that. Let's get back into the topic, guys. Y'all derailed me.
Bastards.
All right, let me share that. Pow. All right, so this is just what they don't really keep a website anymore. The thing hasn't been updated since 2024, right? Because they've pretty much gone radio silent, but it's still got some information on there. They no longer have their manuals on there, but I'm pretty sure it was the John Brown Club that was involved in Nashville.
In Nashville. What do you mean by Nashville?
The Christian school shooting by that transgender person.
Ah, okay.
I'm pretty sure they were a member or had been trained by the John Brown Club. So they provided a lot of scrutiny on them when that happened. But the John Brown Club basically is another SRA, is just another terrorist Antifa group who provide a lot of support to protests and counter ICE demonstrations and such, right? So these are some of the groups. I'm bringing these up so y'all can look them up. You have them in your area. I guarantee it. At least one of these you have in your area. And you can look them and see what they're going. You're going to find them on Facebook, right? You're going to see the one we get towards the end is the Democratic Socialists of America. And they have some very prominent people who are members of them that are currently now mayors of major cities. Let's see. So this next one we'll get into is the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City. They were implicated in the Charlie Kirk assassination. They provided Tyler Robinson with some of his training, if we believe that Tyler Robinson was the assassin. All right. So they were implicated there. They have been documented as going to Cuba and receiving paramilitary training prior to the Charlie Kirk assassination. Cuba, who Congress and the president just stated that they're going to enact military conflict on here soon. The names of some of these people are just too on the nose. But again, I'm not going to go too much into any of these groups, but so you can look these up. You need to be aware of these. I want these in the back of your mind now. So when you're on Facebook or whatever, or you're at your local college or whatever, you're seeing flyers for stuff, you're going to see some of these organizations and need to be aware what their ideology is behind them and how extreme they are. Every single one of these groups would not hesitate to shoot you if they knew that you believed in Christ. Would not care whatsoever. Right? So just that's the whole purpose of this, is to bring this to y'all's situational awareness. All right. Next one is the Democratic Socialists of America. So
they're big in Minnesota.
They are huge in Minnesota. They're huge, mostly in the Northwest as well, especially in Portland and those areas. But as this says, this is them in Oregon talking about some stuff with the Democrat Socialists of America. But and I can provide all these links if anybody wants them. But the biggest thing you need to understand about the Democratic Socialists of America is they boast over 100,000 members. And currently, the sitting mayor of New York City is a chartered member of Democratic Socialists of America since 2017.
Lovely.
Mom Donnie has been a member of the Democratic Socialists of America since 2017. And he is now mayor. Let's see. Let me show that real quick. Here we go. And so you can see there's 78,000 members, but this was a year or two ago, and that's probably way low. They're way higher than that. So Democrat Socialists of America are mostly the organizational arm of a lot of these groups. They are the political group. They are the ones who are organizing the No Kings rallies. They are the ones organizing your counter protests of the Drag Queen Story Hours. They are the ones who are harassing your local politicians to align themselves with their ideologies. They are mostly students because you have the young Democratic Socialists of America who are mostly students. Most of those students are going to college only through the government paying for their tuition. Otherwise, they would not be able to go to college, nor should they go to college. But these are all people who are sucking at the teat of the government. And they are turning around trying to tear down the same government who is putting them and giving them every facet of what they need. But they are no longer a small man on the stage. They are getting mayors elected to major metropolitan cities. And these are people who will call anybody to the right of, Elizabeth Warren a Nazi, right? And they only call you a Nazi so they can justify killing you. That's the only reason they call you a Nazi. I'm looking at some of the comments.
Yeah, a lot of these groups, it's very analogous to the Spanish Civil War, and that in the Spanish Civil War you had multiple leftist groups with different goals, less so different goals as different methods to all achieve the same goal. Right? You had your anarchist groups, you had your actual card carrying communists, you had your socialists who were actually communists but didn't want to be called communists, you had your socialists, you had your actual Republicans, as in the Spanish Republican, so on and so forth. All these different groups had different methods, different ways they wanted to achieve the goal, but the goal was largely really the same. And I think we're seeing very similar things here with groups like the DSA, and then your more radical and action oriented groups like the John Brown Gun Club and things like that.
And they all work interchangeably with each other.
Mm-hmm.
There is no divide there. There's no Talmudic purity rituals that they participate in, and who is left enough. Like they all support the same movement, and they're just under different banners, based on where they're geologically at.
Geographically.
Yes,
Geologically
look,
would be
I'm
like if
just
they
a
were.
dumb Marine. I'm surprised
I'm
that
a
I even got
granite
the word even
DSA.
close.
Well, I'm a limestone.
I was 50% there. It's like hand grenades. I was close enough. But if there are some areas that y'all want to look at to where you can actually keep tabs on them on the internet, there are a few places they still go to. If y'all have ever heard of Mastodon, Mastodon is a the technological term for it is like a decentralized social media platform.
Here, I thought you were talking about the metal band
By the band
from Atlanta.
Yeah. No, I wish I was. Another one is VK. It is a social media platform out of Russia, which they love to use for some reason. It's like DLM for leftists. Another one is Blue Sky, but keep in mind that 50% of the people on Blue Sky are pedophiles. So you're going to run into every two people you meet, at least one of them's a pedophile. They love pedophiles over there for some reason.
They do.
But the nice thing will be when the rule of law goes away. If you have access to a Blue Sky account, you have a ready-made target list. So that'll be nice. The wood chipper will be running 24/7.
Got to get me one of when I did tree work. The company I worked for had what's called the tub grinder, where you can put basically a full 36-inch wide tree in, and it will turn into mulch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Got to get us one of those.
Yep. Look, after the without rule of law happens, once we get into a position where your police are no longer going to respond to anything, millstones and wood chippers are going to be working overtime. And I live right near a lake. There's going to be a lot of millstones.
The way I see it, as civilization collapses, right? Like the state, right, has the God-given authority to use capital punishment. As society collapses, that state, it just gets smaller and smaller until my family is,
the state,
for all intents and purposes, the state.
That is a situation I always wanted to. I want to get like a moral theologian on the show one day, and then ask them and just slowly whittle down the circumstances to the point of at what point am I able to conduct guerrilla raids to stop people who I know are harmful to society? At what point is that acceptable and it's no longer a sin?
I can't.
I give the example, which I brought this up with Tim Flanders a long time ago, right? With everything that was going on during COVID. And they were coming after people who were not allowing their children to transition, right? And their kids were being transitioned to school. And so I was talking to Tim about it. I was like, so at what point is it allowable for me to exert physical force on somebody? Do I have to wait till they transition my child? Or do I have to wait till they're in my driveway to come take my child away from me? Or do I have to wait till they physically put their hands on my child to take them away from me? Right? Or do I have to wait till my child's in their car driving away? At what point can I kill somebody? Right? And he was like, I don't know. He couldn't really answer my question. And I was like, I can tell you when it's going to happen. I'm going to look at my range card that has on my front door, and I know it's exactly 110 meters from my front door to the front driveway.
And
I know exactly what my hold is on my rifle. I know exactly where it's going to happen. I'm not going to allow someone to get on my porch and get that close to threaten to take my kids away. Everyone's going to get hurt at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's like I know if I say the word, we will get at the minimum a message on the video.
I've already said it. I'm sure I've already said the word.
The A word. I'm thinking of A clinics.
Oh,
Yeah. Right? Like at what point, as long as you, especially if you can, at what point can you use physical force to stop the Holocaust of children that's happening in the country, right?
Mhm.
Like, especially let's say if you're talking about destruction of property and not necessarily intentionally harming anyone, like you can't tell me that willful destruction of a building that you know would end up saving children's lives the next day.
Uh-huh.
You cannot tell me that is morally wrong by any teaching of the church.
Did you see the story of that young lady who torched the aid clinic,
Oh no.
or she
Oh, wait.
destroyed it somehow?
Everyone's making the jokes. It was just
Just a collection of bricks and
Yeah,
bricks
yeah,
and
yeah.
mortar.
Yeah,
It wasn't a clinic yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how many lives did she save when she did that?
Right.
Like at what point? And that's, I think we're with the baby boomer generation who has been willing to tolerate just about anything, as long as they can still go on their cruises and go to Hardee's at 7 o'clock in the morning, right?
People go to Hardee's at 7 o'clock in the morning
Yeah, that's the best time to go, of course. Why would you go to Hardee's at 7 o'clock in the morning?
because there's many other places to go to at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Hardee's has good breakfast. Let me let
Okay,
you know. I'm gonna
they
let you
do.
know
I will agree with that. You are right.
that if y'all don't have Jack's up there, but Jack's here in Alabama, the best fast food breakfast
Like-
you'll ever have in your
Like
life.
Jack's in the Box.
No, it's just called Jack's.
Oh no, I never heard of it.
The best fast food breakfast you'll have in your life. But anyway,
I did have Whataburger for the first time.
it's not been the same since private equity bought it.
It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it hasn't. The first time I had it 12 years ago, it was the best fast food burger I've ever had in my life. Now it's like it's better than McDonald's, right? But it's not worth the wait. I can tell you that.
That was, yeah, I stood in that building for like, because once again, couldn't go through the drive-thru in the van. I stood in that building for like 15 minutes and I was the only one there. It was midnight.
Yeah. I'm gonna start some of these questions, guys. I don't want to miss them. Make sure I get that. What was I getting at?
Hardee's.
Yeah. So
Boomers.
anyway, so the boomers have an infinite amount of tolerance as long as their quality of life is not affected.
Yeah.
Whereas like Gen X, we never had, like I'm Gen X, and I'm like the last year of Gen X. Some people call our generation Zennial, like Gen X and Millennial at the same time.
Right.
But anyway, we've never had tolerance for anything, because this is also why you see a lot of Gen X parents who are helicopter parents, because we saw how we were raised and we were feral children pretty much.
Yeah.
And we're overprotective of our kids a lot of times. I'm not, but I've seen people of my generation who are. But then you get into the millennials and Gen Z, and the tolerance is gone. You know, it's we no longer. At what point is the breaking point where people are realizing, hey, our government's full of pedophiles and baby eaters? At what point do we stop letting them do that stuff? And to be honest with you, I think it's closer than we think it is. Especially as the economic times get worse and people are like, why am I paying $5 a gallon for gas when we're exporting gas out of the country and exporting oil?
It's funny. These things, on one hand, they tend to build slowly, but on the other hand, when the end comes, it comes quickly and surprisingly.
Yeah.
You know, like the Russian Revolution. Yeah, it built slowly. There was a revolution in 1905. You know, you had assassination of the czars in the late 1800s. It was building for a long time. But in 1917, man, in February, bam, it just all of a sudden kicked off, you know?
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to get to this question real quick. Virginia's assault weapon ban, 15 plus man, regular ban, goes into effect soon. What do you guys recommend we stock up on for grandfathering? 30 round mags, first of all. You can get them on a lot of websites for like $10 or $11 each. You need at least 10 mags. At the minimum, 10 mags. But I would buy as many as you can. Mags are a disposable item. They are what's going to fail the fastest on any firearm you have. Buy as many as you can. If you can have 30, you can have 50, whatever you can get, right? Whatever you can afford. But do not put anything on a credit card. Do not go into debt for anything. Buy what you can afford, but get to the point where you have at least 10 mags. Next one, part of it is, but inside you have to make sure you won't be out in position where you no longer protect your family, like getting around arrested for, And that's the thing that I was weighing is like, at what point is it worth it to my family to risk myself to protect them, right? Like that's kind of like delineating. Like at what point am I neglecting my family's protection by not doing anything?
Right.
And at what point does that threshold cross? Right, is what I was going to work. Fast food at this point, it is cheaper to go to a sit-down restaurant in some cases. Because there's some cases I can go to a sit-down restaurant and the kids eat free as long as we buy an adult meal. So my oldest daughter's should be 14 in August. If she said if I told you she was 13 now, she'd get mad. She's like, Dad, I'm 13 and a half. But when I buy myself a meal, my wife a meal, and my daughter a meal, my other 3 kids eat free. So I'm spending like $60 at most to go to a sit-down restaurant where it's $60 for me to go to a fast food restaurant and the food's worse and the service is worse. So why would I do that? Yeah, I think at this point, the best example, and I've brought this up before. There's a series of books by his pen name is Glenn Tate, but he wrote the books called 299 Days, and it is about a slow collapse of the United States. The difference then was it was under a regime like Biden that the slow collapse. It was under a very socialist government that the slow collapse, and it got to the point where the government was only giving power and basically power was given for free in order to keep people from revolting. Right. So they know, like, people know, like, I don't have to pay for power, but that's just the only thing keeping me from, destroying every politician I see. Right? It's a very good book series and it's very prescient. It's very, it's almost prophetic in some of the aspects of it. But if you ever, it's a fiction series. I highly recommend it if you have a chance to read it. Yeah, man, going out to eat is so ridiculous. I mean, just for I went to Chipotle and it was like $25. I'm like, this is insane. I was like, I'm not doing that again. Like, I'll eat a sandwich from home from now on. That's not worth it whatsoever. And I probably need to be, not eating out as much anyway.
I gotta say, I am a fan of the Waffle Houses you guys have.
Man, it depends on the time of day you go.
Yeah.
If you
when
go
I
before,
texted you, it was what 2 p.m.
Yeah, if you go before sunset, you're safe. But once the sun goes down, all rules are off. Someone's getting in a fight if it's after the sun's down. But man, yeah, you get the All-Star and you get the hash browns and you get them all the way. You either go gravy or chili. You don't do both.
Yeah, definitely don't do both.
Some people do. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Oh man.
All right. That's all I've got on the far left groups. Guys, if y'all have any questions about that, post them real quick. It's 9.
Because I'm dying of heat stroke. So
yeah, we've got about 10 more minutes before I'm going to call it. So get your questions in now. Have you done it? Man, I still haven't posted that damn video.
What video?
I did the Dickens drill and I have not posted it yet. I wanted to show you. So the first time I shot it was bad, but it was cold. I hadn't shot at. That was the first thing I did. Was I did the disc control, and I think I got like 5 of 10 on the target. The second time I did, I got 10 of 10. But I wanted to show y'all what it was. But we're gonna post the winner. Remember, for the Telegram guys, if y'all are in the Telegram, get in the Telegram. But we do a competition every month. The last 2 months has been the same competition because we came into it late last time. But we're doing the Dickens drill. You've got the weekend.
2 days, yeah.
Yeah, you got 2 days to still get in.
Maybe we'll get a chance.
It's not a competition who does it best. It's if you do it, you get entered, and then someone is randomly chosen. But we do the Dickens drill this month. I've got mine. I gotta post it real quick. It's on my other laptop though. I have to do it on that. But I'll post mine that I did. 6 of 10 with irons bad. I mean, it depends. It's not acceptable. It's not passing. You need to get 8 of 10. But
I did get 9 of 10 with irons. But that was on my Kimber 2K11. Like,
yeah,
not really like what you think of, but
I mean, 6 of 10 at 40 yards is still decent shooting, right? If you can hit. The hardest thing when I was in the Marines and I was a primary Marxism instructor, teaching pistol was the hardest thing to teach. Rifle, there's a lot of forgiveness. Pistol, there's not. Some guys, it took me 2 days just to get them on paper. Because, some people just don't have an affinity towards it and they don't understand. But if you can shoot and hit a man-sized target at 40 yards and hit 6 of 10, like it's not a pass, but it's not bad. Like if you came down to that situation, if you can get 6 of 10, that's pretty good. You're probably coming out of that alive.
If you're hitting 6 of 10 with a little more practice, you can get to 8 of 10. If you're hitting 0 of 10, it's going to take some work, but
yep. Thoughts on PDWs? They're fine.
I like PDWs, but if I'm going to do a PDW, I'm not going to do an AR pistol. I'm not going to do an AR 9mm pistol.
No, if
I like
you're
something
doing
that
AR
folds.
platform, you might as well do a 300 black.
Right, exactly. So if I'm going to do a 9mm PDW, it's going to be
Kuna or something.
The Kuna is my favorite.
Yeah.
The MP5's got the cool factor, but it's 3 times the cost of the Kuna. Just go with the Kuna.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, or you could do the chassis, like 365, whatever it is, the Flux Raider.
Yeah,
that's more of a PDW. But if you're going with anything that's over a 4-inch barrel, you need to go rifle round, 300 blackout. The
365 PDW actually has a 6-inch barrel.
Does it?
Yeah.
But it's not really a PDW, but my smallest rifle I have is my 300 blackout. It's an 8-inch barrel, and I've got and the suppressor on it's 8 inches too. But it's like you can't hear it. Like all you hear is the metal grinding against itself as it loads the round. Like it's so super quiet. But anything more than a 6-inch, really a 4-inch barrel, it should be a rifle round. And specifically, I would go with 300 blackout. I wouldn't go with 5.56 that lower.
No, you need at least a 10-inch barrel for
super loud.
5.56.
It's going to bust your eardrums.
Well,
what is more watchable? Predator. Predator has the best line of any movie whatsoever. When Jesse Ventura says, "No one makes me bleed my own blood," that is the best line in any movie ever.
You have to understand, though, for a Minnesotan, we have bad memories of Jesse Ventura.
I don't care. That is the best line in a movie ever. All left repository.
Okay, speaking of PDWs, my P90 is my favorite gun to shoot right now.
Man, if you ever get a FRT put in that thing, it's gonna be amazing.
I know it is. I don't know. One, it's just the look, right? But two, the thing's got no recoil at all with the 5.7. It just it's it's
It's
fun, but it is expensive too.
it is
Shoot.
nothing but a vibe gun.
It
Like
really
the
isn't right.
whole
100%.
purpose of having it is just for the vibe.
Like they
It's
make Strike makes not a chassis, but well, yeah, I suppose it's kind of like a chassis for it to make it more user friendly and to where
Yeah.
you can mount things easier. But it's like, I don't want that. I want it to look exactly like the P90. Lethal Weapon or Die Hard. So ooh, I have to go with Lethal Weapon. Is because the Lethal Weapon series was my dad's favorite movies. He watched them all the time as a kid, laughed at all the stupid jokes between Gibson and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
But Die Hard might be the better. The first Die Hard is probably the better movie, but I love Lethal Weapon.
The magic of Die Hard is he is an ordinary guy. And there's like nothing super about him. He's not SF, he's not like SWAT, he's not nothing. He's just a random detective that happens to be there that goes through the turmoil of going through this whole event. That is the best absolute aspect of Die Hard, which is what lost it in later movies when they strayed from that. Especially in Die Hard 3 and on. Die Hard 2 was still kind of there, but Die Hard 3 and on lost it.
Which one was in the airport? Was that 2?
2. That was 2.
But 3 is the sign scene in New
Yes.
York, which is worth it by itself.
And Die Hard 4 is even worse.
Die Hard 4 is terrible.
Yeah.
John Wick. I've never seen Equalizer, so I'm gonna have to go John Wick.
Equalizer's good.
Is it?
So the difference is Equalizer's more autistic, right? John Wick is more like angsty teenager.
In what way is Equalizer more autistic?
He like in the fact that he like times it as he's killing people. Like he'll look at his watch and start the timer, and if he doesn't do it in like 9.5 seconds and kill everybody in that room, like he feels like a failure type of thing. Like he's autistic. So I can see why you autists like Equalizer. It's one of your people. And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I do completely agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And anybody who says differently is anathema. Sit. All right. We got any more questions? We got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to get them in. And I got about 5 sips of my rum and coke.
That was a big rum and coke, sir.
And it's the first one I've had in weeks.
And it's a Friday, so I don't blame you.
Yeah. I got nothing to do tomorrow. I'm going to get up late.
I do have a confession to make. Those gay fruity drinks went down so good in Florida. They really did.
It's not gay when you're on vacation.
That's true. Like they had one that was Grey Goose, limoncello, and then lemon sorbet. And then they gave you a gay little spoon to eat the sorbet after you drank the drink. It was so good, dude.
I'm a big fan of a rum runner. Did you have?
I had a few of those.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of rum. So I lived in Florida for a year before I joined the Marines. I lived in Cape Coral and Fort Myers. I lived on Fort Myers Beach, and man, I used to. Living on the beach is a different experience. Like if any of you've ever lived on the beach, you never get you don't appreciate the beach anymore because you're there all the time. But the amount of great food that's on a beach and the amount of great drinks is on the beach, it spoils you. So then when you leave the beach, they're not available anywhere else. So you're like, I used to get these things all the time at the beach, and now you can't get them because you're in downtown Atlanta. But living on the beach was amazing. And the fact that I could like walk to the beach, literally it was 100 yards from my house every day, but I never went to the beach. It's like I was sick of it. I never wanted to go. Fair. Now I kind of miss it. Like I'm not a beach guy. Like my wife, my kids love the beach. And I go to the beach because they love it. But like you'll never, if I was given a choice, would I go to the mountains or the beach? I'm going to the mountains every time.
100% every time, every single time.
But I love my kids more than I love the mountains, so I will take them to the beach.
Now, what about a beach on a lake in the mountains?
Look,
I'm more of a lake.
There. I would sell my house and I would just move there.
I'm more of a lake beach guy, right? Because I mean, I live in
That's
Minnesota.
not a beach. That's not a beach.
Fair. But even then, like, I love swimming. I don't like my feet getting full of sand. I don't like sand getting everywhere.
So, have you ever
don't
gone
like
to the
getting
Gulf?
sunburn.
Have you ever gone to the Gulf?
No.
Like, so when you come down to Alabama next time,
Yeah,
we'll go down to the Gulf, and you will never go to another beach in your life after that.
why?
It is way different. The beaches are cleaner. The water is clearer. You don't have, like in St. Augustine, you've got like the issue with the seaweed and the kelp and stuff in the water. Like y'all probably didn't get in the water. It's probably too cold. But
No, dude, the water is like 10 degrees warmer than the water at the lake here. Like it was not.
It's still pretty early, so it's still cold.
No, I know we felt it. It did not feel cold. For
but
us.
down at the Gulf, the beaches are way better. Way better. So we're gonna have to plan a time for y'all to come down. Y'all stay a couple of days here at my place at the farm, and then we'll go down to the beach for a couple of days, and you will never go to another beach in your life.
Well,
That is the one thing about Alabama I'm glad no one knows about. We have the best beaches in the United States.
Down on the Gulf there.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to tell you, we are planning on going to St. Augustine the first week of January for like a whole week this time.
Goodness.
So if you guys made the drive for a day or two, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I usually have a work conference at the beginning of the year every year. It's usually like the second or third weekend of the month in January, but I'll have to see. Maybe. I've been wanting to take the kids to St. Augustine for a while. I used to go there a lot for spring break. That and Crescent Beach, which is just south of St. Augustine, back before in my debaucherous days.
Yeah, it's a cool city. Wagner just dropped a new video. Yes, it's gay when you're on vacation.
It's 100% true. I mean, that's the law. I don't know what to tell you all that. Look, anytime you have time with me is amazing. We have a good time. All right, guys. It's after 10. I think we're going to call it. Are you want to do a show on Monday or you want to shift it to Wednesday?
Let's see if we can think of something good to talk about by Monday.
Okay. I mean, we might be at war again. Who knows?
If we're invading Cuba by Monday, I'll get stuff to make a mojito and we'll drink mojitos and smoke cigars. Just for the theme.
I can't wait to go. Like Havana will be a nice vacation again.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to go since Godfather 2.
Since Godfather 2. I've never seen any of those movies.
No, man. Godfather 1's good. Godfather 2's good. Godfather 3, in context, as a Catholic, is good. But in overall, in cinematic prestige, it is not good.
Fair. Lake Miltona. Where's Lake Miltona?
Miltona? That sounds like a great aunt's name. That's my great aunt Miltona.
He used to be called Milton, but he got a little of that gender dysphoria.
He got a little bit of that tism. Now he's Miltona. All right, guys, we're gonna call it. Hope y'all enjoyed it.
I'm sure I've driven by it, but no, I've never been there.
Aunt Milty. But we'll see y'all.
You know I know Ocean's Black? Auntie.
Yeah, Auntie Milty.
Auntie Milty.
Yeah. That's how you know you're black. All right, guys.
Okay,
we'll see y'all next week. We'll let y'all know when we're gonna have a show.
Let me find the right outro here.
Do the outro.
Here we go.